apologized to all the players on that team for the misunderstanding. And
Well, let me say this.
Let me go first, Chuck.
Okay, sure.
Because I know you're going to be long-winded. If you have to be apologized to for your coach calling you thug, you ain't going to never win. You're soft. Okay? Period. First of all, one, they're not playing like thugs, so I believe him when he said you play like slugs. And third of all, stop being so sensitive.
would
I grew up in the
would
80s.
you be offended here?
Listen, I grew up in the 80s. I got called worse than slug. Trust me.
Or the thug?
Yes, more. Trust me. Yes. Yeah. So it don't.
Well, and Chuck, you can bring it on home, but the context of what you're saying obviously makes it.
Man up, that's what I'm saying.
The part of when people saying it's racial or not is the context of what he was using. In the context of a basketball locker room, when you have Caspi and Kevin Love and you're calling guys thugs, you're not using it in a racial connotation.
Well, they can play like thugs too.
But playing like thugs would actually be a compliment to a team who's not playing. Who's playing? You would look at it and say they play soft at times.
You ever heard
They
of
don't-
Bad Boys?
Right, right. So you would actually. So we all know that he obviously didn't want to say that.
So soft,
But-
America.
Apologetic. Sometimes you have to be real. Like sometimes you can keep it right. Sometimes keep it real, but sometimes you have to keep it right. And keeping it right is like, no, I'm not apologizing because I'm offended the way y'all playing. I'm offended watching. Like we're offended as former players watching games sometime when the Cavs play. We're offended watching certain other teams in the NBA the way they play. So no, you don't have to apologize for the fact that the team is not playing well. Now, if someone took it as in a connotation of racial, if you think about it, it's almost impossible for that to be a connotation.
But if they did, it's not wrong to apologize for somebody.
Hold on.
No, but he was supposed to make a statement. I would have said it in the locker room and called it a day. I'm not going to say this.
Call it what it is, Chuck.
Who's the one selling?
Chuck, call it what it is, Chuck.
Number one, I've never heard a bad word about Coach Beilein, ever. And you know, one thing about basketball, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody in basketball. I've never heard a bad word about him. And what makes me mad about this whole conversation, he says in his apology, the coaches told me later that I said thug instead of slug. So clearly the players, because if they were offended at the moment, they would have said something, right?
Somebody's got to.
I would have stood up and down,
But they didn't do anything. See, when I think about it, the players didn't say anything when it exactly happened. He had to come back later and say, I made a mistake. But none of the players said anything about it when it happened. So that tells me he just misspoke. But for the Cleveland Cavaliers players to be bitching about him practicing too long, we're watching too much tape, and
We don't like his college style.
we're not working on fundamentals.
This is a move to
You
try.
guys have not, with the exception when LeBron James been in Cleveland, in the last 10 years, you guys haven't won over 20 games. When LeBron James, I saw that stat, I can't remember I'll talk about it today. When LeBron James has not been in Cleveland, in the last 10 years, they've never won. I think the magic number was 21. So to be complaining about a coach who's coming in trying to make y'all work on fundamentals when y'all stink, make y'all watch film, make y'all practice hard, this is starting to be a joke.
This was a move to try to get him released. Period. Whatever happened to what coaches say to us in the locker room stays in the locker room. How'd he get out? Who said something? And you're right. If you offend me in the locker room, coach, I gotta go back at you. Hey, coach,
No question, right in the locker room. You're going to stay.
Right there in the locker room.
Every team
Yeah,
I've
it's
ever
done.
been on, team,
But they
we
leave,
would
they go home.
discuss that right there.
Yeah,
Like,
right
Rudy,
there.
yo, what'd you just call us?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
you just
yeah,
said that? Oh,
yeah.
no, and he would have said it right
Yeah,
then.
he said it right
You
there.
slugs. Oh, okay, I got you.
Bring
Yeah,
it
but
up.
I'm just disappointed the Cavaliers players trying to get this man fired because they think they're working too hard and they stink. Plain and simple.
Yeah, it's the reason I agree with Chuck. It's too much of a paper trail of other things.
We're practicing too hard.
Yeah, those things lead up to this.
We're watching
Now, if this was number one.
Come on, man.
yeah, but
Come on, man.
Too much.
Hey,
We know what you're trying to do there.
Yeah.
You can't fool. You can fool some of the people. Some
Hey,
of
let me
the
tell you something, Ernie.
What?
I'm tired of working on this show. We go too late. Let us off early. We've been in here all damn night.
11th win of the year.